Good evening everybody, welcome to SimRacing Bible and welcome along to another live stream, and today we are back in at Live for Speed. We are testing out the brand new mods which are available for Live for Speed. It's been a while since we've done this, so it's going to be good to have a quick dive into the cars that we have available to use here on Live for Speed, and it's going to be interesting to see what's been added in. And there's always a good surprise in the list of Live for Speed mods. Always lots to amuse and to have fun with, so super excited to give this a try. Welcome along, it's good to have you with us. So let's jump into the sim now and let's get started. So here we go. I hope you're all doing well, by the way. Hope you had a good weekend so far. Right, get myself in here as well. And here we are. This is the mod screen as I see it now, with all the different cars laid out. And there's been a few on here which have instantly caught my eye, so it's going to be interesting to see how this goes on here. So we've got a couple of people who have reached out on the Discord channel, in Live for Speed's Discord channel, to say, you know, would you mind giving my car a try? So there's going to be a couple of things we're going to try out this evening which have been sent to us to test or given as a recommendation. So we'll look forward to doing that. I think what we're going to do, we're going to start off first with this one. So Tim has very kindly given me access to the Fraud Wheeler E2RX010. We already got the Fraud Wheeler in Live for Speed, and this is like an RX version. She has more power, and it's just generally nuts and insane. So we've got a few colours to choose from here. I haven't managed to get the skin set up for Tim in time. I haven't got the DDS plugin working yet, so I'll have to work on that another time. But he sent me a Belga livery, which is very nice indeed. So a couple of setups on the options up the right here. So we've got various versions. So that looks like it's more gravel based, more tarmac based, and then it's got a Dunsfold version there as well. So we'll go with the gravel spec version of this car. And as you see, we've got the headlights are blanked off, as you would get with an RX version of this car, rather than having the spotlights on the front. It's also got the high level brake lights on the rear, and the rear lights are blanked off as well. So very much a Rallycross specification car. And we've got, you sent me a Rallycross layout for Fern Bay as well. So let's jump in, give this a drive, and see if we can survive. Now, get my gloves on because I don't want to damage my wheel. So here we go. This is it's exciting. I love this particular type of car. The Ford RS200 is one of my favourite cars, and Rallycross is one of my favourite disciplines. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so we're running some grass here. What's going on? Where are we going? Little chicane there. It's pretty wild. Right, what we got going up here? Got a tight chicane there. And as you expect, quickly up through the gears. Oops. Missed. I'm supposed to be doing doing a hairpin right there. I completely missed that. And I'm assuming we carry on down the pit lane until we get to the end here. What's going on here? Pretty sure that's where we started off. Hang on. What's going on here? Let's try that again. And this is the... am I doing the wrong way, am I? Sorry. Welcome, Tim. Am I supposed to be going left here, then? Looks more like it. Feedback's pretty strong on this car already. Difficult to see over the steering wheel, I can't tell where I'm going here. I think I'm just going back in the pit lane, actually. I will get used to this layout eventually. Something isn't right in where I'm going, I don't think. Alright, let me just make sure I've got my handbrake map, because I'm not sure if I have, because I'm gonna need it on some of these corners. So let's choose that one as a handbrake, and we'll use that. Right, there we go. That's it. A little bit of handbrake action to help us around these tighter corners. Let's go this way. Nope, don't think it's that way. Or is it? Let's start the track on the hotline mode. Yeah, I think I have. That's probably what it is. Let's go into the single player mode and use that. Then we have a good idea of where we're going then. Let's join the race there, right? Okay. Let's try it. Okay, this is where you're supposed to start. Good. It's good to know. Can't see the lights, but that's going to go now. So it feels very heavy on the wheel. It does very much depend on the car as well, the amount of force feedback you feel through the wheel, but this is feeling quite heavy, but you get a good idea of what's going on as well, so you can get a good feel for what's happening. Oops, that ran out a little bit. Yeah, I think we got it. Welcome, Norman. Good to have you with us. How are the Bermuda Islands today? Hope you're keeping well. It's been a while since we've seen you. Let's try to get that nice slide through the corner then, but ended up catching the barrier on the inside. Oops, too deep. I do like that final corner though, you can really give it a really good send around there. This is not your standard Rallycross circuit here at Trabant. Test the inside. Right, let's take this to a circuit I am more familiar with. But that's feeling pretty good. Let's try. We'll go to. Is it green? No. Oh, we'll do Blackwood one because at least I know where I'm going there. Got a few saying greetings from the Bermuda Islands there. What's going on? Alright, here we go. Blackwood Rallycross then, with the Ford V2 RX. Down to turn one. Well, the car's feeling pretty good. I've not said much about it at the moment. I'm busy concentrating, trying to hang on to the thing, but it does drive very well. It's pretty fun. Just trying to feed my way through here and just avoid the barrier on the inside before we can let it loose on the tarmac up over the top of the hill. Quite hard to see where you're going with the wheel, but we'll get through it. This is... okay, getting used to it now. Lots of space on this particular Rallycross circuit to let the car move around a lot. Somehow I managed to avoid the barrier on the inside. That was an awful entry into that hairpin. Oops, completely offline, and there's the barrier crunch. Okay, well, that's feeling pretty good, Tim. I'm quite impressed with that. The steering wheel doesn't look quite right in terms of size compared to hands, but I'm sure if we turned that off it would be absolutely fine. But yeah, the actual handling wise of the car feels really cool. It's nice to drive, good fun, and it's got all the poke you'd expect a Rallycross car to have. And obviously with the higher ride heights and the longer suspension travel, that's particularly good for the Rallycross circuits. So very good. Right, okay. Strong start. Let's go on to our list then. We'll work our way through and see what catches our eye. So obviously with Live for Speed you have some more serious cars. You have some less serious vehicles. Some of them are going to call them cars. So I think we've driven the Interceptor on the channel. I'm going to try and make sure we drive cars which we haven't driven on the channel before. I think we've driven the Interceptor. So that means next up is this wonderful contraption. I like how you've got a tyre or wheel sat in there. Let's see, where's the driver sit? It's, well, it does say it's a big shopping car. This does look particularly big. Okay, let's go give this a try. We'll go to West Hill. We'll go and open the back up, and we'll give this a try. Interesting to see what kind of engine this has in it, because obviously you can't see anything right now, but curious to see. So, welcome along. Hello. It says LMP2 at Aston Grand Prix is a blast to drive. It's also a combo for a 6-hour endurance race in 2 months. I did see that advertised, actually, that there's a 6-hour race coming in the LMP2s. Right, so here we go then. Let's unleash the shopping trolley. Once we get in gear. Go on the H-pattern gearbox for the shopping trolley. As expected, it looks a little bit wobbly. Certainly got a good lick of pace going on. Ooh, we've got some lean into turn 1. Ooh. Ah. Okay, we're good. We survived. Ooh. Get back in line. Now, obviously, this has got a rather interesting track layout. So should have narrower fronts track compared to the rear track, so it should handle more like a kart. But because you've got such a high center of gravity, this thing sways around like a skyscraper in an earthquake, and it's a bit of a handful. Just tip it in, try and apply some power, but it does tend to kind of tends to get away from you a little bit when you're on throttle as well. And the brakes. Come on, we've got to survive a lap here of West Hill. We're still going in the right direction. But things seem to have gotten a lot more leery since we started the lap. I think things are starting to get rather warm in the tyre department, possibly. Sampath, are you trying to reinvent my childhood? Were you one for riding around in ridiculously large shopping trolleys? I suspect this one's probably a little bit quicker than what you were used to. Welcome, Kilo. It's a rather fun driving experience. Ooh, give the head a bit of a wobble through there. Right, there we go. Get on the curb, get a bit of a snap of oversteer. So Alan says, looks like they made an R-Factor 2 car for Live for Speed. Is that one of the other ones that we got coming up? I think once you get used to the lean, it doesn't appear to want to tip over particularly easy, but it also has a real hard time trying to get off the corner. But actually, it's quite an interesting driving experience. Actually, I'm quite enjoying this. I'm going to go for a lap of the shorter circuit at West Hill. Flat out down the straight. Get on the brakes early because we need to give ourselves a chance for getting through turn 1. Well, we ran wide, but backing it in the turn 2. Okay, and let's take the left here. It's quite forgiving as well, actually, even though it's a shopping trolley and they very rarely go where you want them to. This one, you can actually recover with some effort and some wheel waving, even if it does get itself into a bit of a pendulum as you start sliding. Get back on track. Stop knocking all the beans over. Just looking for those stacks of product that people have taken hours to build so that we can just run straight through them. Spending rather too long having too much fun in the shopping trolley at the moment. That's what I love about Live for Speed. I mean, you just can't help but smile when you see stuff like this being added in. Stop! Oh, very good. So Tim says, another good mod is the N400S. Okay, I shall keep my eyes out for that one. So there we go. That is the big shopping cart, which is actually quite a lot of fun to drive. Yeah, that's very good. Nicely done. Right, on to something a little bit more serious. Let's try something else, which is more kind of car looking like. So this is Brabant Billcross. Looks like is it supposed to be based around a Trabant, I think? We've got some nice kind of 70s colours available to us. Let's try this nice mustard colour. And the rear wheel set so far back in the wheel arch there, that could be interesting as we get that on track. Right, so we have our own. It's got its own dashboard, a unique dashboard, which is quite cool. It's got a radio on there, which, no cassette player, just a radio. Not quite sure what that book is on the shelf there, but nice little detail. Right. Here we go. Sounds pretty good. Ooh. Almost feel like I'm back in the shopping trolley. It's got a bit of lean to it. Whoa, okay. Uh-oh. Oh, good. It's fine. We're safe. So the N400S was on the middle of the screen on the list. Okay, cool. I will I'll get down to that very soon, I'm sure. Alright. Okay. Whoa! Doesn't like going down to third gear. So Sampath says it's your papers to move through the Soviet Union. Ah, okay, gotcha. International car, this one. Whoa! Too much send and we get the echo off the walls as we go completely backwards into the chicane. Oh, this thing is completely bonkers. Latvian video says one of the mods I like is Vicova 78 horsepower Fury. Okay. You have my interest. Alright, get this jelly slowed down. there's no getting that around the track now. I think I've boiled the rubber. Okay. That's actually quite a fun little car. I think on like some short circuits, it might even be geared to being like a because it's quite soft, isn't it? So it might be it's got bill cross there, so I wonder whether it's geared around like a what's the word? It's like folk race stuff. Whether that's the idea. Kind of Taurus version, which looks like a stiffer ride. I think we should give that a try in fairness and just see what it's like. Definitely less body roll going on here, obviously with the car sitting down a little bit more. Still feels a little vague on the inputs and still is quite happy to go sideways as you go into the first corner here. That's pretty fun. Alright, let's go around this way. I'm not entirely sure this car is meant to be a drift car, but it just seems to do it so naturally, then you just can't help but just slip into that way of driving. Even if it does get the better of you. Okay. That's enough of that. That's the Brabant Bilkos. Quite a fun little car. The N400S. Ah, yes, that's the one. Yes, okay. We will definitely be taking that a go. So next down on the list we have the emergency car, which I don't think I've driven on the street on the channel before. It's obviously based around a Dodge. It's got the Dodge front end and it's got Charger badges on it. Okay, so we've got some different, like some police liveries and things on there. And it's got the spotlights turned in as well. I quite like the red one. I'm going to go with that. So you got... Okay, so setup-wise, you've got ones with bull bars and light bars on the top. There we go. That's more of your street type car, your performance version. Let's try this one. Let's give this one a go. So Bayan, hey, welcome along. Good to have you. Want to drift the lovely TSV8 coach? Well, don't see why not. This one runs on paddle shift. Sounds quite nice. Any car is a drift car if you try enough. Yes. I just need to try harder to not drift some of them. Some of them are not meant to be so. Now this feels quite solid actually. There's some weight in the steering wheel. Not much in the way of dive when you jump on the brakes. Seems to remain quite flat. But being a road-based car, this one, it's quite a heavy-feeling thing, but it's quite nice. I mean, the interior looks good as well. Nice steering wheel. You've got the large infotainment screen on the left there, which you might not be able to see actually because it might be underneath me on the camera, but you can see it's got all the Apple CarPlay apps and things. Of course, this is got the driver on the wrong side of it because I have it set for right-hand drive, so normally this would be a left-hand drive car. Unless you had a company who imported it to the right-hand drive country change it over, but when you get it in a straight line, it certainly moves. See what the brakes are like. Hard on the brakes. Not bad. Bit of traction control kicking in there as well. And ABS too, actually. I just felt that jump on the brakes with the wheels turned there. There's a little judder through the steering, which felt pretty good. It's quite nice, actually. It does drive quite well. Down to the final corner here at West Hill. Yeah, there's definitely some traction control interference there, where it's trying to stop my rear end from breaking away, which seems to work pretty well. Brakes of the Dodge are better than in real life. Yeah. Yeah, I've not driven one of these in real life, but I don't imagine the brakes to be incredible. Wow, I do like that ABS kicking in there. That is that's not something I felt in Lift for Speed before. Whether it's just because I've not driven cars that have ABS working correctly or not, but yeah, that's quite a cool little feature. You don't feel that in a lot of sims, to be honest. So the fact that you can actually feel that going on when you are braking over the limit of what's possible, it's pretty nice. So I press O to disable TC. Done. Let's see if that's actually worked. Yes. Now let's see what this beast is like without the electronics helping me out here. Scoutboy, welcome along. There is a Dacia Logan mod. It would be cool to test it. Okay. Shall add it to the list. The weight got me on that one. There we go. Right. So that's pretty cool, actually. I quite like that as a road car, and something as a, you know, something having a bit of fun with on track, just driving around, or if you're into cruising or whatever, that's a fun car to drive that. And obviously they have police versions as well if you wanted to do some kind of chases online or whatever. But very cool. Right, moving on. We've got what was on the thumbnail for the video today, which you will have seen already, which is pretty cool. We have a Skip Barber car in Lift for Speed, which looks really nice, actually. This was just released today from what I could tell off the Discord channel, so this is fresh out of the box. And the Skippy is a really popular car on iRacing. It's a car that features in R-Factor 2 as well, and I think there's been a mod for it for a Assetto Corsa as well. So yeah, definitely a very, very popular race car. And this one, you know, looks very nice indeed. It's more of a training single-seater, I think. It's obviously treaded tyres. It's got some aero, very limited, obviously, with very small wings, front and rear. But but it's really good for practicing your single-seater car control as well. So it's not completely glued to the ground, and there should be some element of slippage through the corner as well. So it's kind of a mix between a Formula Ford and something slightly more sophisticated in terms of aero. So yeah, excited to give this a go. Let's try this one out. Let's go to Blackwood and we'll give this a drive around there. Let's catch on with what you guys have been saying there. So that means it says, want to feel ABS? Try the Espresso D. I think that one had lots of ABS action. Okay, sounds good. Bayan says, I'd love to see your lap on the Hill OX, the Hilux pickup. Okay, cool. I'll keep adding these to the list. You got to keep reminding me if I miss them. The Dacia Logan mod is called Gallon, and also sadly it isn't approved, but I think it can be installed. Okay, I'll have a look for it. Fia, welcome Fia. Says, hi, can you try my Rover P6 named Plover P6? Thanks. Refresh the list. I'll do my best. Did you just update the mod so you can get at the top of the list? That's a sneaky tactic. Right, so here we go. Skip Barber. We've got the proper steering wheel as well, which has that split pin, or the R pin going through the centre to hold it on and keep it in place. So, pretty sure... No, okay, so it's running the paddles, this one. I would have thought it would be H-pan, but it's running on the sequential, so... Let's see how this drives. Nice, low-powered single-seater. Good for some slipstreaming action and some good racing. So much lighter on the wheel compared to that Dodge, but that's to be expected. Oh, okay, so you fear you removed some bugs. Good, that's fine. Okay, down to the big braking point. The end of the straight. Get it turned in there. Ooh, there we go. A little bit of oversteer on the curb there. I like the reflections that you can see, obviously, in the mirrors. You can just look back over the rear wheels and the wing, but on the right hand side there you've got a nice view of the chromed exhaust coming out of the engine cover there, which is very cool. Sounds good too. It does sound very nice. Down to turn one again there at full speed this time. Hard on the brakes. A slightly wider line through turn one. It's nice. It's nice to drive actually. It's I said it's a bit lighter on the feedback. I might just see if I can increase that a little bit. So I'm on 9 now. Let's go to 13. Z-Top, welcome. Says this Skip Barber looks good. It does. It does look good, and it drives good too. I can imagine there'd be quite a few people wanting to race this in a online event somewhere. Yeah, got a bit more feeling on the wheel now as we've turned that feedback up. Again, using that curb on the outside just to kind of keep us on track. Down to turn one again. Let's try and get it tucked in more this time. Yeah, so it's nice. There's just enough kind of oversteer or slippage from the rear end as you try and get the power down through some of these corners, and then it's and then something away. So it's got enough kind of grip going into a corner, so you know that they are, you know, the tyres are, you know, gripping up and giving you all that you need to get the car into the apex. And then just that little subtle reminder on the exit that you do need to be careful with the right foot. It's that curve again, just setting it a little bit, keep it off the wall, we're good. Yeah, no, that's good. It's lively enough, and yeah, it's a good fun car to drive. Though I'm sure that'll be a really fun series. I just seen your message there, Tim, saying that they are planning a racing series for the Skip Barber, and I'm sure that'll be a really good series to drive in, because it should be a lot of fun. Yeah, it should be fun in city tracks like the chicane route. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can imagine that'd be good fun through South City. But that's really good. I'm impressed with that. Yeah, it looks exactly as you expect it to look, and it drives nicely as well. So yeah, very, very good. Well done on that one. Okay. We've driven the Jaguar, or the Jorgen, the Bend Taurus, which I think is meant to be a Ford Taurus. So again, another American sedan, which is not something we get over here in the UK. We have obviously Ford saloons, but Mondeo is over here, which is slightly different to the Taurus. But we'll give this a try as well. So project says, oh, so Latvian Villa says you can increase strength by pressing comma. Okay, yes, that's right. See, all you guys know these shortcuts to the setting changes and things. I'm learning. So Kilo says you can thank Daniel Jimenez from Maserati Corsa for allowing me to use a 3D model from his original AC mod for this car. Ah, okay, that's where it's come from, that version. Okay. Well, it looks good. That's really nice. So Ayub, welcome Ayub. How does it compare to Formula V from a handling perspective? It's more, what's the word I'm thinking of? It's more predictable. I think Formula V cars tend to be very unique in the way that they handle, and they tend to, yeah, because they have the live axles on front and rear, and I think they can be a little bit unpredictable, whereas the Skippy is a lot more planted, and it's just more like you'd expect a car to handle. The Formula V is just different. Right, let's try this Taurus. Now this one does have an H-pattern gearbox to it. Avid YouTube enjoyer says the paddle gaps in the Taurus are legit. Is that right? Is that how they come out of the factory? Again, nice looking interior on this one. We are left-hand drive this time around. So obviously there's no right-hand drive version available, perhaps. But yeah, nice details, all the buttons, all the TV screen, there's that nav screen there with chrome around the vents as well. Very nice. Nice bit of wooden paddling on the dash as well. Ooh, big dip under brakes. This is more your softly sprung road car. It just wallows around through the corners. Again, anti-lock braking kicking in there. I didn't feel it as much through the wheel, but you could hear the chattering as the ABS light flickered on and off, and the brakes try to gain some kind of grip. So what have we got here? So Matty Galvin says test XFG Class 2 on Blackwood Historic Reverse TN base set. And Matty says, I can make the Formula V mod public if you want to. Oh, okay, just for the video. That'd be cool. Or you're welcome to just add it to me if you wanted to do it that way rather than making it completely public. It's up to you. Phil205 is the username if you wanted to do that. That's how Tim helped me out with the fraudy wheeler. So Z-Top says it's more predictable as Live for Speed version physics itself. Sorry, more predictable as Live for Speed physics system in itself lends to more predictable handling. Z-Top says Formula V just wants to murder you in braking if we're comparing to an iRacing car. Yeah, the iRacing car is very, very odd. I think the Formula V's in AMS2 are not too bad to drive, but yeah, the iRacing version is very odd. They are usually quite fun cars to drive though, the Formula V's. It's just, as I say, just a slightly unique style of driving to those things, so you have to be prepared for that. Meanwhile, I've just been cruising around in this Ford Taurus. And it's just been doing its thing, and it's been nice and easy to drive, as you expect. It's a road car, it's meant to be nice and easy to drive, but let's put it through its paces. Formula V mod is public now. Search as Formula 60. Okay, I'll do that, Matty. And we'll jump in that next, just so we can have a fairly fresh comparison against the Skippy. Not that we're trying to play you guys off against each other, but just so we can get an idea how to answer that question which was raised as how they differ. So onto the road section here in the middle of Blackwood. Yeah, so again, just like the Dodge, it's a good solid car, a good weight on the steering wheel, quite a nice sound to it, and very convincingly like it's a road car, which it is. And yeah, very good. Right, let's go take a look at this Formula V then, shall we? Let's go back here. So that was the panel gaps we're talking about there. Right, so let's give that a refresh. And it's the plover shoved to the top. And new Formula Americas as well up there. And so search for Formula 60. Oh yes, yeah. Sorry, I've seen the Formula 60. There it is. Right, here we go. So that's what we're talking about here. So a lot more basic than the Skippy. So obviously no wings, front or rear. Much more basic suspension setup, and your Volkswagen engine in the back there. So let's run the ATL colours, and oops, am I supposed to run the FE3 stable setup? I'll run that. Okay, and then we'll take this around Blackwood and see how we get on compared to the Skippy. Revs well. The thing with these Formula V cars is normally you end up spending most of the lap in third and fourth gear. Although second gear is usable here at Blackwood. There you go. So there's that turn in and the light rear end. So a good track for the Formula V is Fern Bay Gold. Blackwood has too much straight. Yeah, this is not really its natural place for a Formula V. But we'll do a couple of laps of this one just to compare it to the Skippy, and then we'll might take it to Fern Bay, give it some corners. So here we go then. Let's see if it's going to murder me on the brakes, as you say. Ooh, that's quite stable. Just when you get into the corners where all the action starts. So here we go. It's very responsive. It's quite happy to go into the corner. When you turn it in, it just goes straight for the apex wherever you point it to. It just so happens that the rear is less so obliging. You end up just kind of making loads of little corrections through the corner. So this one here is a fairly quick corner. It should be fairly straightforward to do, and even then on the exit there, just a slight little bit of a wobble. But this goes down to the particular suspension geometry of these cars, and I don't know how they're set up, but the Formula V is a fun little car in its own right. What you do have to do with this car is maintain momentum as well, because you don't have a whole heap of power. You just gotta keep rolling that momentum all the way through. Okay, well, let's just do a quick run around Bombay Gold then. But yeah, in comparison to the Skippy, so the Skippy is much more predictable. So you saw that it had a few little moments, but nothing too strenuous. But in general, it seems pretty well connected to the ground, whereas the Formula V requires a little bit more driving to keep it going in the right direction. So here we go, the Gold version. Let's make sure I know where I'm going here. Okay, here we go. So it looks like it could be neutralized with setup work. Yeah, potentially. You're always going to have that kind of fundamental characteristic there, but yeah, there are things you can do to tame it slightly in the setups, but quite limited options, I think, in Formula V. Coming up to the quick chicane here. Revving all the way up until we see the shift light. There it is. Off we go. Right, down to the first corner then. Hard on the brakes. Down to second. Going to take more speed through there. Actually, we ended up coming out a little bit tight. Right, through the fast chicane. I was going to take a flap, but then it spun up on me. I had to back out for my own safety. And then we come into this sweeping section of corners, very similar to Maggots and Beckett's at Silverstone, where you just left, right, left, albeit a little bit more elongated. Now we're going to sweep through here and try and avoid the barrier on the outside. Plenty of space there, that's good. Up and over the bridge. Only 4 gears, I believe, in Formula V, so we've only just broken into 4th now. Let's get straight back down to 3rd. This is touching the curb, and then the rear end just starts to say, hang on a second. Alright, even in 3rd through here. You're right, this is a fun little circuit for these cars. Flat out through there, of course. But yeah, so the Formula V is, yeah, it's a nice car to drive. Thanks for making that public, Matty. It's a fun little car, and both that and the Skip Barber are equally good in their own rights, in their own individual ways. So definitely worth trying both of those. If you're a fan of low-powered single-seaters, those are the ones to go for. Okay, let's clear our search there, and we'll go back up near the top. I suppose we better drive this Plover then, seeing as you bumped it to the top of the list. Everyone's going to jump on the same trick there. So we've driven a version of the Plover in Need for Speed before. I don't know how far down it's going to be. This one here, the P220, which is, or 2200, which is like a race version with slicks. Very nice car to drive. This one obviously looks a lot more standard. Again, we'll go red. What the solid looking steel wheels there, and very narrow tyres. So yeah, let's give this a go. We'll take this one to go to Aston for this one. We'll go on to the cadet circuit at Aston. See how this goes. There we go. Nice wooden dashboard, thin steering wheel. To make sure I was in first gear there. It's considerably less power than the P2200 version. A thin little steering wheel. So that gives us plenty of time just to take in the interior here, because we're still building speed. Oh, had a gear change. It's not the quickest car in the garage, but it's not meant to be. Right, on the brakes. Woo! Just a reminder that classic cars aren't always geared up for taking corners particularly quickly. Again, it's another one of those cars where you have to maintain momentum, because otherwise you're just a goner. But also you just can't go through the corners too quickly with this one, because otherwise the rear end will just come round on you through the corkscrew section quite happily. Not quite sure why a Scandinavian flicked that into there, but we survived. Tattoo the dog, welcome. Says, I saw you struggle with my big shopping cart. Wobbly, yep, I agree. It's brilliant. It's so good. It's mods like that which just makes Live for Speed so fun. Very good. Yeah, so it's nice. It's nicely done. Obviously, it's not meant to be a full spec race car. It's a very classic car. Yeah, it looks good. So very very old British, that car. Okay, let's carry on down our list then. So we've got here, which I don't think I've driven before, is this VGI 6, which is obviously based around a Honda Civic. We have a big bore exhaust on the rear. Looks like some enlarged, I don't know if that's the suspension arms, which have been lowered slightly, because I'm not sure that's standard, but okay, here we go. Probably blacked out. Ooh. Carbon bonnet spec. So we've got VGI base, we have stock, which is obviously softer, and then we have fun. And whether we engage. Do we engage fun mode? Let's do it. Let's take this one to. Let's take it to South City, and we'll just open that up. If you think this is slow, then hop in the invalid car. Okay. All right, maybe. Tim says got two cars in the works, but that will be for future videos. Don't know if you ever saw the Zara T16 from Hanson or the Saab 93 from Per Eklund. I did, yes. The Saab even has an official license from Saab. I did see something about that actually on the forums, on the Discord, so that's awesome. Yeah, classic Rallycross cars, always welcome. The Tutti the dog says, I got some a bit serious mods coming. Ferrari mod, LaFerrari. A good car still for pending. Okay, cool. Drive the moped, says Ponsek. Oh, we'll have a look at that, I'm sure. I did enjoy it. It was fun to do. Oh yeah, the Gallon is next. Right, let's jump into it. Again, own interior by the looks of things. So this little Civic is got very much a following by a lot of Japanese car fans. It's a nicely balanced little car. It's quite nicely shaped as well. Little hatchback. Front wheel drive, of course. So obviously this is the fun setup. So it's been lowered. Excuse me, got hiccups. So it's been lowered and sorted, obviously, in the handling department. Sounds nice as well. Obviously, this is a. I think this is a VTEC. It should be a VTEC engine on this car. And Honda engines tend to be quite revvy anyway. Just about made it through there. Right, we'll take a different route this time. Go off to the right here. But again, good weight in the steering wheel, and front-wheel drive cars tend to have a little bit more going on through the wheel as well, so you can feel it load and unload as you get on and off the power. So it really goes quite heavy in some cases when you've got the power down and you're trying to push on through a corner. It tends to load up quite a bit. Coming back down the hill again. So of course this is South City, which is due to be getting its update at some point, which we're all looking forward to. All the preview images look amazing, so I'm sure there'll be some fun to be had with the new version. Let's go this way. But it feels nice to drive. It's feels nicely connected to the road. Even if the force feedback can be quite strong, obviously I turned it up, but it's not bad at all. Going on the down ramp. Well, the echoes off the buildings as we blip on the downshifts. Uh-oh. But that's really good, actually. I quite like that. So I'm not entirely sure it's fully custom interior. I think the dash might be used from one of the standard LFS cars, but the steering wheel's definitely been retextured to look like a Honda wheel. It's got where the Honda badge would be in the center there. But yeah, looks good. Drives well. Sounds good. Fun little car. Right. Next up. Someone said that the Gallon is next. I don't see it. Where's the Gallon? So that's like a non-spotlighted version of the Talbot Sunbeam, which is an approved mod now. Okay, let's jump into this. A lot of people are recommending this particular car, the N400S. So this looks to me like it's the is this the version of the Nissan Z car, the new Z car that they're thinking of bringing out? I haven't seen much of it, but it kind of looks familiar with that badge on there, and I think it's the new Nissan Z. I can't remember what it's called, but looks pretty cool. So let's go with red rims as well. Let's go with the blue one. So we've got cruise and a race version, which has been lowered. Let's take the cruise version. And we'll go to... Let's go to Rockingham. We haven't been to Rockingham so far. Okay. The Scout Boy, you're gonna have to tell me which one the Gallon is, because I'm gonna have to look through and find it. Nissan 400Z. Okay. Yeah, well, that makes sense, doesn't it? That makes perfect sense. So I am curious as to where this... I'm going to search for it now. What's it called? That one. Okay, right. I know what I'm looking for now. Can't even tell where that is. It's miles down. Right, anyway, let's try the 400S. Here at Rockingham. Can you do some laps on the II or the IIRS on South City as well? Okay. I'll have a look. Ooh. Turbo sounds. And a 6-cylinder engine as well. Again, this has got a very nice looking interior to it. We'll do the international circuit here at Rockingham. Let's just put that down to where it was. Thanks for the shortcut tip there. But again, the interior looks really good. It's I like the tachometer and the gauges on the dash there. It looks really, really nice. Again, a little bit of traction control. We might have to disable that, even though it is already going sideways quite a bit. Let's turn traction off. All right. Sounds good. All right, into Tarzan hairpin here. Let's see what this thing is like on the exit. Loose. That's down to my heavy right foot there, but let's go through the chicane here. A bit of direction change, see if that'll unsettle it. Very controllable. It's quite nice. Right, this time we're going to go through the old first corner, which is the chicane off the banking. Somehow managed to thread it through there and survive the other side. Let's try and drive through here without going sideways. No, not happening. It's just asking for a bit of throw and catch. Whoa. Thank goodness for a more rounded wheel to make things like that easier to manage. Could imagine trying to do that with the Formula rim. Thankfully the new D-shaped one works better. Still need to get used to it a bit more, but okay. So now I've heated the tyres up. This thing is actually pretty cool. Put the traction control back on again. Not that it helps. It still allows a little bit of slippage, but That's really cool. I like that car a lot. So obviously you got the nice nested dials in the dashboard there. You got all the details in it. It looks really cool. Nicely done. Sounds good. Again, drives good. It's quite fun to just slide around and just have some fun on track with. So yeah, nicely impressive, that one. It's got a nice looking model as well from the outside. It's yeah, got a nice element of detail. Obviously the square grille is based on how the car looks in real life, so it's yeah. No, that's good. Very nice. Okay, so that's that one. Tango BC. Right, okay, so some of these you might not spend an awful lot of time in, but my word. What on earth have we got here? This is like another Daisy thing. So we've got default, we have Rallycross spec where you can see through to the other side. You have a sport version, a taxi version, which presumably just has 5th gear. Let's go drive the default one. Alright, and we're off. Again, we got a customized interior for this one. There's our black lines into turn 1. Let's added a couple more as we jumped in there. Again, this is just a fairly standard little car, this one. It does tend to oversteer and turn in. Well, I'm turning anyway, so it's just lift off oversteer more than anything else, but also down to the fact that I'm just throwing it into a corner way too quickly. I'm trying to decide whether this is actually front or rear wheel drive. Oops. It's now just one wheel drive if it's front wheel drive. It's yeah. It's quite a fun little car. It's not a it's not like a really high horsepower mad supercar or anything like that, but you know, it's nicely done. Again, it represents a car very, very nicely. It's good to it's good to throw around. It's reasonably controllable as well, which is very good. Right, let's just skip on a couple bit because there's a few I want to try and get in, and I want to make sure that we drive these. So there's this one here which has caught my eye, the Empress Sunrise, which is obviously an AE86 derived car. We have a Togue setup, we have drift setup, and we have a track setup. So we're going to try the Togue version, I think. Nice, nice red livery. Right, let's. It's the most similar to a Togue. Not really many of them, I think. Probably. Let's see what's. Just open up the Kyoto ring. Tim says another fun one is the Lemon Ara Coupe, the basis for my Kenneth Hansen Zara RX mod. Yes, I did see that one. It's a Zara, isn't it? So let's try this A86. Very much a cult car in Japanese car culture. People go mad for these things. Partly down to the fact that they're really well balanced and good handling cars. Which seems to be already coming across from the first few corners of driving this thing. So it's rear wheel drive, this one, and you can tell there's a good amount of balance on the rear end because the rear has come out a couple of times, but it's been very straightforward to control it. So let's see what happens when we get to some more corners. There's some more coming up down here. Again, it's just that nice little understanding you get when you're driving a car that speed where you can feel it's at some sort of limit, and it's just letting you know that your grip levels are about to become less, but it's not just going to throw you straight off. That was just me not braking for that corner. That's the only reason me went off there. But you just got that nice little feeling through the car of, okay, you're on the edge. Car's starting to move around a little bit, so it just allows you to either push on even more to try and break that limit, and then subsequently break traction, or just ease off a little bit and keep the car heading in the right direction and in one piece as well. And again, we've got like a Nardi style steering wheel in front of us as well, with a custom interior. Sounds nice as well. A little bit of transmission whine going on as well under the chromo tyres bridge. There we go, just able to hold it just on a little bit of opposite lock. So the rear end came around and I was just able to hold it in one place. I wasn't constantly fighting it backwards and forwards trying to feel when that grip was going to be reobtained, but it's just nicely balanced, so you get it sideways and it just nice and easy to control, but puts a big smile on your face when you're doing as well, so it just seems to tick the boxes. Too fast into that. Yeah, no, this is this is a nice little mod, and it's much better than I'm actually making it out to be because of my low knowledge of the Kyoto ring. But the actual driving dynamics, the feel of the car is really nice. Yeah, no, this is good. Right, let's get a little bit silly with it. Let's see what happens when you go over that limit, and if it's still behaves just as nicely. So here we go, down into here. Yep. A bit of a wobble there, but obviously there is a drift setup for it as well, which is a little bit more geared to doing that kind of thing, but even in Taurus setup mode you would normally have a little bit of sideways, not quite that much though. Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool, I like that. Very nice indeed, nice model. Little details as well with the fans on the radiator there. Yeah, that's cool. Right. So next up, this is the Pro Stock Dragster, which is based on a Camaro. It's got a big intake scoop on the bonnet, sissy bars on the rear, and this could be quite fun. So we're going to take this one to, of course, the drag strip. Let's do a drag race. In fact, let's do that. Let's put it up against something. Here we go. So I'll do this on we'll do the 8-lane drag strip, I think. Let's go like that. And we'll add in a few of these. And we'll do... No, that's not what I want. Let's find another suitable drag racing car to go up against. Not that it's going to be any kind of a contest, of course, but they're in the TT Dragster here. A couple of AI drivers. And then we'll go back into the Pro Stock, wherever it's gone. It is. Right, let's give this a go then. Let the AI path to its thing. There we go, nice and simple. On the left-hand lane here. Gotta watch the lights, not that I can see them particularly clearly from here. I have to use the one on the right-hand side. It's sequential pattern, not H pattern. Right, that was an awful one. Let's try that again. Now we know which gears we're using. Okay, keep an eye on the lights. It's hard to see these ones as well. Here we go. Nice wheelie off the line. There go the dragsters. An 8.19. That's quite a quick quarter mile. I love the wheel lift off the line. That's really cool. Let's just watch that in replay. Here we go. So we've got the sissy bars at the back, which help to arrest some of that wheel stand action, but you still get the wheels up off the line. Look at that. We had a serious jump on the opposition in our class. That's very cool. Let's do one more. See if we can beat an 8.19. This time we have a clear view of the lights as well, so let's go for it. Away we go. Oh no, it's slower. 8.3 this time. Like your videos and subscribe. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Welcome along. It's good to have you with us this evening. Thanks for watching the stream. Hope you're enjoying it. This is quite a cool little car. I like drag racing cars because obviously there's a real purpose that they've been designed for, and that's to go as fast as possible in a straight line. But you know, when you get a well-sorted drag car like this and it just launches like it does, it's really cool. Let's try that again. Let's do another quick launch here. Into first gear, right, here we go. It's just so gentle when it goes up and then just slowly comes back down again. It's just, yeah, beautiful. That's cool. Like that. It's really nice. Nice model as well. That's just appreciate the way that looks. Just, yeah, a proper well sort of drag car looks really nice. Big fat slicks on the rear. Skinny ones at the front. Very good. Right, what else we got? So we've got some various BMWs here in different states of the E36 shape. What else we got? There's a couple of folk race cars. We've got the Armoured folk race and they've got a Tanoshi folk race as well. Alright. I know there's one that I needed to do, which I mentioned on the Discord, so we're going to jump down and do that now. So let's go back to the race screen, because I'm going to do something ridiculous here. It was mentioned on the Discord that this particular person might see their mod for 2 seconds, and I said, well, tell me what it is and I'll show you 4. So we're gonna try the ramp car. I've not driven this on stream before. So we're going to drive the ramp car, and we're going to take this to an actual track. We'll go Blackwood there, and let's remove these cars, and we'll put on. Just put on some XF GTIs here, just for the purposes of this particular experience. Let's put a whole heap of those on there. And we'll go back and find our ramp car. Here it is. Right. So this thing is it's got one purpose in mind, just like a drag car. This one has one purpose in mind, and that is to just launch the vehicles as they come up the ramp and over the front. It's got big fat 6 on it, and not an awful lot else. It's pretty basic. So let's just see how the ramp actually works and if it's successful. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a couple of laps on here, and we're going to go at the back and see how many cars we can clear out of the way. So here we go then. Wait for the lights. Obviously the XF GTIs are going to be a lot slower than this, I suspect, hearing the V8 underneath the bonnet. And away we go. Off you go. Oh no! We got caught up. Right, we'll run down the side here. I'm not surprised you're getting out of the way. I would too. This is the kind of car you need for turn 1 at Monza. On some of the public servers you can find. Oh no! Right, okay. Let me just restart that a second. I think what we'll do is we'll go from the external view so you can have a full appreciation of sending some of these little XF GTIs over the roof. Let me realise I wasn't subscribed. Oh, it's alright. It's not a prerequisite. It was quite neatly done, actually. It can scoop up cars quite happily. Let's just get right behind number 24. Your number is up. Oh, I just love how they just carry on like nothing happened. Very heavy on the steering with this particular car. I think that's down to the rather large slick tyres. Right, let's go back into cockpit mode. So what you can do with this car is, rather than just completely launching them, you can just quite happily... Ooh, it works better on the corners actually. You can just nudge them and it'll just lift them gently out of the way. AI16 is currently expecting to change his trousers. Up we go! Right, let's just do some pit maneuvers here and just move some of these cars out of the way. Off you go. That wasn't the best option, but let's try it again. What red car? Some of them it doesn't quite hook up underneath, but he's already on the way out, that one. Ooh, that was a little bit more brutal. He went over sideways. I mean, it's one of those cars which is just absolutely insane. Let's watch all that action unfold over that lap. It's what Mad Max drives for fun. Yeah. This is not your average race car. So like video, you can lower the front suspension to make it ramp better, but that can come at cost of cornering. Yeah, yes, it is sitting up quite a bit. Look at that, perfectly up and over. Just a bizarre thing, isn't it? I'm sure it would be quite a lot of fun in an online multiplayer setting. And as like video said, it's not particularly well geared for cornering, but you can certainly have a lot of fun launching some cars out of the way. AI's got some good car control. Got that back under control after being launched over the roof of another car. And then not even much damage on it, so you can just carry straight on. So there we go. Let's see where we get number 16. Oh, oh dear. Very good. Right. That's enough of that. let's have a look at something else we can find here. Let's go go back up to whereabouts we were here. So, yeah, there's the Lemon Hour Coupe, which Tim was talking about with the basis for the Zara kit car. There's a plane there. I know we've tried planes before in the past, but that's interesting. Right. Man, there's just so much, isn't there? TSV8, I believe, was someone's shout for trying to drift this thing. This is quite a serious bus, isn't it? This is a proper coach. This. What colour option? Oh, we've got some nice transportation versions, some camo versions. Okay, well that's quite nice. What's wrong on this one? Hang on, I just saw it's got a lowered option. Who lowers a bus like that? Unless of course passengers are trying to get off. Right. So the challenge is to drift the bus. Don't think it's going to work, but we'll try it. Again, we have our own individual custom interior. Turn. It's got very heavy steering, that's why I had to just turn the feedback all the way down. Right. Scandinavian flick it into the final corner. Oh, it does work. That's brilliant. That reminds me of a video I've seen, which is obviously assisted by snow, but there's a video of a bus drifting up this kind of series of hairpins in the snow in the UK here somewhere. And yeah, incredible driving skill. Alright, into the first corner. Let's get thrown in there. Turn. When I say thrown in there, it's more just kind of gently nudged. Maserati Muppets, welcome. Good to have you with us. Says, are there mod tracks? No, not at the current stage. We can't mod tracks in. You can't throw any other kind of circuits in there. But there are some more. There are some more tracks in progress by being built by the developers, which will be released at some point soon. You can create your own mod layouts for tracks. So, for example, here you can create your own layouts using this particular map. Just by adding in your own kind of barriers and all sorts of other things you can use to to create your own circuit. So, is it drift or body roll? I think it definitely is drift. The steering wheel is trying to go the opposite direction. So, obviously, it helped a little bit by the fact we had some downhill going on as well. But you can drift this thing. Right, this is it. Down to here. Down to third. No, I didn't quite catch it that time. Let's try into the final corner here. Again, I'm going to have to just quickly catch a replay of that because that's something I just need to see. Not so much that, but let's get to the final corner. Here we go. Smoking the rear tyres in a bus. Money shifting a lot. Yeah, revving that right up to the rev line. That's pretty fun, actually. Quite enjoyed that. Okay, so what else have we got? I mean, literally, you could just spend forever going through some of these mods, just trying to drive them all. I mean, what on earth is that? PFTRE. I mean, that's just an insane-looking thing, isn't it? So we got a Rally Sunrise car, which is like another Corolla, but Rally spec, which is pretty cool. Okay, this is one I was going to say I was going to drive. This is the Forge Verl, which is kind of like a mid-90s champ car. And it's going to be used in an upcoming league as well, V8 Racing League. So let's give this a try. Again, we'll just use Blackwood for the time being. Oop, now we need some force feedback on, having turned it down for the bus. Right, there we go. All of a sudden we got a bit more pace than we had in the bus. Whoa! It's feisty. Let's try that again. Right. Now we need to be aware that we do have to be a little bit careful with the throttle on this. Especially over the rise here at Blackwood. Slight lift just to make sure we're through there safely. 5 gears only. And then quickly into turn 1. This thing's pretty wild. Nice sounding V8 in this one. Still revving all the way down the straight. Some turbo flushes going on as well, so it's a turbocharged V8 in the back of this thing. It's a bit of a handful, but sometimes those cars are a good fun challenge to drive. Just about got that slowed up. Wow, that would be a pretty difficult car to try and drive in the league, but I'm sure you could master it after a little bit of time. Fair amount of understeer going into there that time. Probably just going in too hot. We broke it again. Alright. That's pretty cool. It drives well. It's a challenge, that's for sure, but it's pretty fun. Right. Someone wanted me to drive the scooter. We haven't driven any or ridden any bikes so far this evening, so this is the scooter. This is the TI 125 Executive. The executive model. Because it says so on the side, so it's obviously executive. We have an option of either a grey or a blue exhaust end cap. Right. Let's try and find the most executive looking colour we can. I think the grey with the red flash is definitely the most executive. Here we go. Our rider's looking particularly high flying on there. Let's take this to the full version. Okay, take this for a ride. The Maserati says, might give the demo a go again. Yeah, it's definitely worth a go. So Kilo said, I went back to racing beginner BMW a week or so ago and was not disappointed. Had some amazing racing there and some 3-hour battles for the lead. Yeah, the Formula BMW is a good car. Right, let's just get ourselves off the racetrack here. Try not to throw up. We got the wobbles on. Slow down. Right, here we go. So of course, riding these things from first-person view is not always easy. Because in real life, riding something like this, you would move your head accordingly so that you could keep your head kind of as horizontal with the horizon as possible. Whereas with this, you simply are moving with the bike, or in this case, the scooter, so it just tends to go a little bit funny. I dropped it. No. Let's go back again. This time I'll change our view so we can see what we're doing. And of course, one of these things has got just one gear, I believe. Yep. Which means you get lots and lots of revs. I don't know what I was expecting there. Let's try it again, but without throwing it down the road. Super sensitive on the steering. So, Lightning says in settings view, you can pitch the camera down to see the gauges, and you can also change the view to horizon, I think. Okay. Ponsex says moped is the best mod. And again, it still amazes me and makes me happy that you can do things like this in Need for Speed, where you can actually have a vehicle which leans through the corners and still holds on to the tarmac. It's just, it's brilliant. Because you don't have things such as the rider moving around to help with weight distribution, etc. But you know, it's really clever. Right, let's just do something this moped is not designed to do. See what happens when you when you lose all grip whatsoever. Right, let's go again. This time we're gonna take a different road up the side here. Right, here we go. No, it really doesn't like off-road. It's pretty fun though. It's very fun. Right, okay, let's see what else we got here then. So we have a Fiat Punto there. Big Mercedes thing. School bus as well. What else are we going to run? So what is this then? I'm curious about this. This is the Naught F8 1.8T GT, which is quite a cool looking thing. It's quite a nice looking saloon. It's a Brazilian license plate on there, so I'm assuming it's potentially something from over that direction. But I'm also thinking the 1.8T is possibly a VW engine. Alright, let's see what this is like. H-pattern gearbox. That sounds pretty good. The Ponsic says there was a server 2 with airplane map, and you could fly for a long time. Because it did have that really old style, kind of Wright Brothers-esque plane, which was one you could fly. And again, we've got the app display on the right hand side there, so we can choose whether we want to listen to Spotcast. Bikes plus off-road equals 4. Yeah, it does seem that way, doesn't it? It's not much of a chance when you take it off the tarmac. This sounds like quite a aggressive engine in this car, which is quite nice actually. Yeah, on the overrun, it just really kicks in. It sounds really good. Oh, I'll tell you what, I just lowered the force feedback because it was really strong, but now it's in a more usable setting. It's quite nice to feel the weight moving around in this thing. Actually, it does transfer very nicely. Right, let's go this way. Sounds really good, doesn't it? I like that. It's got a like a rally steering wheel with the red strip down the middle. But I think it is just kind of road spec. It's got some traction control, we'll find out. Yeah, so this is a really good way to test that weight moving around, because got loads of room just to throw the car and try and bring it back in line again. It's pretty cool. Lots of caster on it because it's trying to wobble when you go backwards. But it's quite cool. Quite like that. Nice looking car as well. Right. Let's look. A little bit more. Let's see what else we can find on here. The buggy Genesio of Conviction. That looks fun. We're going to have to take that off-road, I think. So we've got dirt options, we have street option, and a two-wheel option. Why is that rolling away? Okay, well, two-wheel option then. Let's just see what that actually means. Okay, so bike gearbox, you have to downshift. So there's only one gear. Oh, that's why it says two-wheel option. It's just instant roll. Okay, let's go back onto the dirt option then. Let's try that. No, not race, hot lapping. Dirt. Okay. Right. So Alan says, have you tried the Hollow? Amazing car. I haven't, I don't think. I'll have to have a look. It's a punch exit. Okay, bicycle now. I'll have to find it. This is a little direct drive off-road kart buggy thing. Very easy to roll too. That's pretty cool though. Mad little thing. Alright. Speaking of rollovers, there's another one I wanted to show you guys, which it's this. This is the trick roll. And it's based on an XF GTI, obviously, just shortened slightly. And we have the stock version, we have a Rallycross version, we have a race version, and we have the roll version, which has a complete rollover bar. So it's time to go and put that to the test. Here we go. Right, so obviously driving along, no problem. But as soon as you hit the brakes, that's when oh, I didn't end up on our wheels. Let's try it again. So we can do a complete roll and then carry on. Try not to go too fast this time. It works. Again, just another example of the quirkiness that comes out in Live for Speed mods, and the ideas that people have to create something. Oh no, that went wrong. But I think it's brilliant. I think that's really fun. I reckon that can be quite fun for an online race if you're trying to survive. I think the Rallycross version or something would be mental, wouldn't it? But I love it. I think it's a great idea. Right. So let's carry on then. So this is another car which we've done a few single seaters this evening, but this has kind of caught my eye. It's like an old Formula Ford type car or old F3 car. It's quite a classic looking single seater. So Yasser T-Berg says, I was hosting Skippy race at FE2 this evening. Oh, were you? Oh, good. Straight on it. And how did that go? Hopefully that went okay. Oh, yes, I need to put my feedback back up again. Seeing the Vike over on the list has reminded me that I requested that a while ago. I'm going to have to find that now, because we've spoken about it a couple of times. I'm going to have to find it. It's the Hollows, the old V8 supercar Holden Commodore. Ah, yes. I have tried that, I believe, actually. I think that was really good. I think it's based on a VN, is it? VN or VP Commodore? So this little single-seater on slicks, of course, with some wing. That big shovel nose on the front of it. You can hear it kind of grounding out a little bit on the way into that corner then. But this one's quite nice to drive, actually. Nice balance to it and good good feel through the corners. The car moves around a bit. So again, just using the basic steering wheel on this one. But then single seaters of this type don't normally have much of an interior really. It's just a fiberglass shell around the outside of the cockpit. A couple of gauges. But again, you have that nice view through the mirrors of the rear tyres, and then underneath that rear wing. The wrong gear there. It's fine. Again, quite a nice little single-seater this one. Nice to drive. And good feel through the wheel as well. Drive the Monster, says Ponchek. I have driven the Monster before, actually, on stream, and almost ripped my arms off because my force feedback was up. I might give it another go now that I can quickly turn force feedback down and things, so we might give that another try. Early 90s one, don't know the specific type number, though. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, I think it's a VP or a VN. Right, okay, let's see what else is there that we quickly want to jump into here. Actually, we're a bit further down from where we were, so... Where's the... Oh, the bike over. This one here, right. Okay. So this is the one you guys were saying was slow. So let's try this. Let's take it to a track other than Blackwood. Let's go... Not done much at Fernbay. We'll do the club circuit at Fernbay, I think. Right. Here we go. Let's unleash all the horsepower. Okay. Oh, we're getting up to speed. Wow, okay. I don't know if that's clutch slip or wheel spin. I doubt it's wheel spin. Uh-oh. Gonna eat some tyres. Okay, let's give this a fair go without having a a damaged one. So like my video says, I love taking this thing around West Hill on the sports setup. Likes to almost roll over. Does it indeed? Okay. We're gonna have to revisit the pits and loader setup. Some interesting diff settings on there. Let's go to the pits then. Let's put sport on. Oh, there we go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Right. So it almost likes to roll over. Well, we're obviously going to have to put that to the test. Right. With all this lower centre of gravity, should be able to get through here, no problem. Go. Much less slippage from the diff through there. That's open diff, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It wasn't really clutch slippage, it's just the inside wheel just spinning up a little bit. Not second gear. Hey Turbo, welcome. Good to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying the stream thus far. Oh, it's not too bad over the curbs there, actually. There we go. That was the curb we were looking for. Yeah, so that was the full roll rather than the almost roll. Okay. Right, well let's mix things up a little bit. Let's go. I'm gonna have to try this. I've seen it and we've had a look at it. I'm gonna just have to sample this thing. So we've got race 1, race 2, then an off-road version. I mean, what is it? What is it supposed to be? It's almost Maserati Bora-ish, and everything else is just something else. Okay, let's go back to West Hill. Let's go open it up and see what happens. Okay, so we got our cone filters poking out the bonnet there. I'm not entirely sure what to expect out of this. Am I on H pattern? I am. Oh, sorry, sequential. Right. Let's see how this goes. It's actually a lot slower than I was expecting it to be. That's possibly down to all the extra body kit it's carrying around. Okay, well the corner's alright. Let's just turn that down just a touch more. I think, is this diesel engine, does it? By the sounds of things? Very hard to see past that front pillar there. It kind of sits right where you need it to be sometimes, but you have to just guess where the corner is. Wow. So Zara says, looks like a hill climb car. Yeah, they tend to go a little bit berserk with the aero. Whoa! Suddenly pitched us very hard left on the brakes then. Whippy Whip says, that sounds worse than the stunt car racer on Commodore 64. I've never driven that, so I can't possibly comment on that. I think it's just a very unique sound. It's difficult to get a diesel sound with the Lift for Speed sound engine, I think. Very unique sounding engine, the diesels. FOV police going to give you the death sentence for this one. Yeah, they probably will. Completely written off. Okay, well, that's an odd contraption. It has a very weird handling on that one as well. It tends to be... It's got a reasonable level of grip, but it also has a lot of snap. All of a sudden, it just kind of just lets go on you, and you end up having a bit of a wobble trying to drive it. But that's a very interesting idea. Yeah. Okay. Carry on. Let's find out what else we got here. So we've got the Lancia Delta here, which is... There's two versions of it. There's the rally version. There's like a standard version. I have driven this one off stream before, but not on stream. So running slicks, we still have the off-centered bolts on the wheels, but that's okay. Okay, the Lancia Delta is one of those cars which makes Square cool, and I think the Delta's a really nice looking car, but this particular version isn't particularly true to real life from what I remember. So it's running it's running sequential gearbox rather than H pattern. It's got a digital dash. It shows you a turbo boost, loud and proud on the dashboard. It's moving around a bit, but it's rapid as well. It's really quick in a straight line. It turned in through that. Loads of grip. Sometimes there's one that's 1.5 times too big though. It's a little bit oversized. Okay, that was pretty mad through that. Hey Atian, welcome along, good to have you with us. Thanks for joining us this evening. And Tim says, with lots of aero and 300mm plus tyres. Yeah, this is definitely a fictional take on the Lancia Delta. Lifting the inside tyre off the ground a little bit there. So Ivan says this mod is super bad, has a wrong scale and large wheels. Yeah, I think if you're looking for an accurate representation of a Lancia Delta, it perhaps isn't the one you're looking for. But it could be seen perhaps as being a Delta version of like a silhouette type car. So this is obviously running different transmission to where you'd normally get. It's obviously turbocharged as well. So if you view it as being a Delta type body on a silhouette type car underneath it, potentially has a little bit more of a reasoning behind how it looks and the sizing side of things. But as far as the handling is concerned, if you look at it as a completely fresh car, it's actually kind of fun. Again, there's a good amount of grip, but if you do push it on a little bit too much, you get these big four-wheel slides, which can be quite fun, especially through the chicanes and things. You just end up just almost dancing through them. Let's try it out of here again, because it was this little section down here that was fun to drive last time. That's quite fun, actually. We're going to have a quick watch the replay for that. Let's go up here where we were just finishing this one off. Obviously, it's ridiculously quick. Yeah, the wheels, the tyres are really wide, aren't they? Oh, up on two wheels. It's just insane, isn't it? Right. That's quite fun, though. Let's see what else we can find. Band cruisers, they make such mods. Oh, we're talking about the taxis mods. Okay. Actually, says simracing Barber. Have you tried 70s Formula 1 car? I'm not sure if I have. Let's have a look. So Tim says the Health Integral is a good Delta mod. So P166 mod. Let's search for P166. I think maybe a long time ago. Maybe did we try this? I think we did, but to give it another go. It's from the early aero mod. Let's try this. Okay. Mirrors out on stalks. Rear wing raised way up behind us. Obviously you got big fat slicks at the rear, slightly narrow ones at the front. So you're always going to get an amount of understeer straight away, followed by a good handful of opposite lock on the exit. So we need to plan our corner approach accordingly. Let's turn that back up. Slow down. It got away. Yeah. It's notoriously a very difficult era of car to drive anyway, but yeah, one day I need to spend a bit more time learning to drive that one. So Taurus says, do you have VR? I don't have VR, no, I just have a single monitor. I've been told VR is good on LFS, actually. It's, you know, again, just another reason why Live for Speed is so amazing considering its age, and it's capable of being able to sustain modern technology such as VR and direct drive wheels as well. Right, let's go further back up again. Probably time for a couple more vehicles to try. I don't think we've driven the quad bike on the stream yet, so we're going to give this a go, which is quite cool. We've got a basic version, we have a light version which has some LED spots on the front and some luggage racks. We have a wide body version with some wider flared arches, and we have the full one which has some big packs on the back as well. So let's go give this a drive. Just trying to think where the... Go to Blackwood again because we can go off-road a bit more there. So let's try this. Right. Away we go. Again, we can't see our dash because of the way our view set up. Whoa. Whoa. That's sensitive. So what it's like when you take it up on the rough stuff. Obviously where quads are meant to be, out in the fields. All we need now is some sheep and a border collie and we'll be all good. through the tree. Right. Take it back onto the tarmac. Quads are notoriously dangerous things. There's lots of people who get very injured on quads. And with this amount of sensitivity, you'd be able to see why. Right, let's try and tip it in here. Well, not actually, but figuratively. Here we go. On the Rallycross circuit, quite a pace. It's mad. So yeah, go to settings, view, and turn the Z offset down to fix the view. Let's go. Option settings, view. Z offset. That's not taking it down far enough. We're still not seeing anything there. Ah yeah, view lock horizon. That's what we were talking about earlier with the bikes. So let's give that a go. Okay. One other one I wanted to try and drive, which was a bit farther up, I think. Let's just try this one because this is quite a cool looking car. It's kind of a mixture of, it's got Chevron B8 front end almost, with that kind of swooping nose, and then the rear end is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of Miura, Ferrari 250 LM, Stratos. It's got a mixture of looks going on there, but it's really quite a nice looking sports car. So this one is also low down, so we're gonna have to see if we can pick our view up on that one. Let's go upwards. There we go. We can see now. Here we go. Oh, we are sequential on this one. Very short geared as well. Already up into rev limiter on 5th gear. Ooh. Whoa, there's the sausage curb and we're a quick roll and we're over. Let's try again without a broken cup. So V8 engine sounds good. It really does shift as well. A little bit more conservative through the chicane that time, which has worked out to our advantage. But yeah, we're out of gears. I've got nothing left. We're just flat on the limiter. Right, there we go, down to the braking point. No. Too busy thinking about views and not driving into that corner. We'll just send that entire bundle flying. Wow, the speed this thing comes up on corners, you just get caught out. It's actually quite fun when you're not throwing it off the track. It's actually quite fun to drive that. You get a good feel of the car moving around underneath you, so that's quite nice. Right, okay. One more, and then we'll call it an evening. But there's so many really good mods which are just asking to be tried. Okay, let's see what else we have up here. So let's try the Gorb, the Gorb BC. Let's try this. It's got a lovely pink colour there, nice green one. And there's a luggage version which weighs the back end down. Right. Let's try this. We've got some 5-cylinder action going on with this one by the sounds of things. Right. On the brakes. I can just hear this scraping sound and I'm not sure I like it. Not quite sure what's dragging on the floor, but can't be good. Can't be good. Well, that's just because the cars are so soft, it's just the sills. Hey Neozixus, welcome along. Good to have you with us this evening. Tim says you could see the body, see through the body and the door. That was on the previous car. Ooh. Get that turned in. It's just understeer city. You can turn the wheel as much as you like, but it's not going to go around the corner any easier. Okay, let's just do one more because that's quite fun. Oh, BC, so yeah, all BC tagged mods are Bill Cross folk race versions of existing mods. Gotcha. Right, so they're obviously meant for off-roading stuff. Okay, let's do. What should we do? There's just too many to choose from, isn't there? I'm just trying to remember if there's any of these that we've not driven that particularly wanted to drive. Okay, well let's run one of these BMWs up here then, because we've gone past them a couple of times. Let's try you know, looking at the ratings on. Let's try this big Merc. Let's try the big Merc. Big long S-Class. See how this limo of a thing drives around. Of course, it's sequential because it's probably automatic gearboxed. Again, it's got its own interior. It's got no sound on the down when you take your foot off the throttle either. All the engine note disappears. Whoa. So Hussein, welcome Hussein, by the way. It says 00M to 500. Not quite sure what that's referring to, I'm afraid. It's weird how the engine sound just disappears when you come off the throttle. I think it's some kind of special fuel saving device which turns the engine off like stop start, but only kicks in again when you that's all the limo sound isolation. Well, it's quite nicely handled. You can slide it around quite happily. This big old barge. Oh, okay, it's a car mod. Made it myself. It's a BMW M5 E34. Okay. Yeah, let's try it. Let's go find it. I know I said that was the last one, but let's try one more. So, search for 00M. No. 500. That one. Okay. Nice. Do you like that Shape of 5 series, actually? It's pretty cool. What colours have we got? You run that orange one. Majestic, says Todd. Oh, this sounds good. Again, it's got its own custom interior, looks nice. Yeah, it's quite good. You can actually give it a good throw around the track and get a good idea of the weight behind it as well, even though it's an M car, an M5. Back in the day, these cars were still quite heavy. So there's a bit of weight that you feel moving around. But being an M car, of course, it should be very nicely sorted, so when it does go sideways, you can control it and bring it back in line. No, that's fun. I like that. Well done, Hussein. Good job. Sounds good as well. I do like the sound of this. Hooning around the car park a little bit. Okay. Well, that's going to wrap up our proceedings for this evening. I hope you've enjoyed watching along as we've tested out some of the latest mods for Live for Speed. I've certainly enjoyed exploring some of these creations that people have put so much hard work into making available for us to test out and enjoy. And thank you for those who have made suggestions on vehicles to try this evening, and also send me ones to test. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your support, and I'm glad you enjoy these types of videos where we go through and showcase some of the vehicles available within Live for Speed, which again, I'm just going to reiterate, it does really add another element to the title. And obviously it was already good with what it had in terms of its content and the fact that you could really feel what the tyres were doing, but the modding cars options that you have available really adds an extra dynamic to the title, and it's really fun. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching along with us this evening and had a bit of a laugh at my expense of being unable to drive some of these cars. But if you did enjoy the stream, please do consider hitting the like button, and it really helps us out as a channel to get the videos seen, and more people get to experience these mods for themselves through my hands. And if you are new here and you've enjoyed seeing what we've done this evening and would like to see more, please do hit the subscribe button as well. That way you don't miss out on any future live streams or videos released, and you get to become part of the Sim Racing Bible crew here. Those curves are pretty hard and brutal, but that's good fun, and I've thoroughly enjoyed driving these cars as I try and reverse park it in there. And there we go. That sums us up for the evening. Again, thank you guys for joining us this evening. I hope you had fun. We will see you very soon for another live stream. Hopefully we'll get something done this week. Fans of Automobilista 2, I'm hoping to get some online races organised this week so we can join you on track. That should be good fun as well, so stay tuned for that, and make sure you stick around. Enjoy our Discord channel. Join our Discord channel. I'll put some announcements in there for what community races are coming up in the future as well, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, until next time, take care of yourselves, have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we will see you next time. Bye bye for now.